Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to another great video. Let's talk about breaking the chains, about financial freedom. We want to be able to, maximize our wealth, okay? Meaning increase our wealth throughout our lives and basically maintain our health at the same time. Health is important because without that, we can't begin to do the things that we want to do or strive to do on a daily basis. But building wealth, I'm not saying you have to be some extreme rich person or wealthy person. Wealth is what you make of it in life, okay? All right? Whether it's money, whether it's family, whatever it is, all right? I don't get on into the markets each and every day trying to make, tens of thousands of dollars every single day. If it happens, it happens, right? But we don't control the business of trading as retail traders, okay? Now, what I want to show you today, I talked about this in the past video. I did a video on this, a couple months ago. Many months ago. I'm not sure. About taking $400, okay? Because I know that some people may be limited to the amount of capital they have or may not have much to actually trade with. That's fine. We all come from just different means and different places in life, okay? Some people just really work hard. I noticed some really motivated and driven people out there, but they just can't find their way out of the constant rat race, meaning working 9 to 5. And there's nothing wrong with having a job. I'm not saying that, okay? Some people are just pure entrepreneurs. Other people, they like to find complacency, and meaning the fact is they're okay working that full-time job, and you can do this part-time on the side. There's nothing wrong with that at all, okay? All right, I worked before too. I had a job. Same thing most of you guys do on a daily basis. But I know everyone's jobs are different, okay? Meaning the type of job that they're in. Some of you may be working factory jobs. Some of you may be working corporate jobs. Some of you may be working in a professional environment, maybe an attorney or, an engineer or a doctor or whatever it may be. You may be in the aviation field, flying planes for corporate companies. Either way, at the end of the day, at some point in life, we really want to kind of take a step back because life is short, right? So we want to be able to enjoy the things that are very important to us in life, near and dear, family, being able to spend time if you have kids, being able to travel and visit certain parts of the world, or whatever it is that you find to be that's a hobby for you. Okay, so let me talk about this, okay? Let's say you got $400, okay? All right, I talked about this before. And you want to get into this business, maybe even part-time, and start making some extra cash on the side, some extra income. You can definitely do it with that amount of money, okay? Now, I wouldn't go into this trying to trade with $100, okay? I'm not saying that it may not happen. You may get lucky, maybe like going to Vegas and playing the slots, whatever the case is. You may walk out with $1,000, so you may have turned $100 into $1,000. But I'm talking about taking $400 and building that 10 times, okay? Meaning where you can move from the micros and now start playing in the bigger leagues, the E-minis, all right? Because we know in the future markets, especially when it comes to the indices, most of us trade the indices over on the Discord community. If you're not part of the Discord, what are you waiting on? Find the link down in the description portion of the video and invite yourself into the Discord and become a community member today. Join us on the Trading Floor channel where we post screenshots of our trades and entries so that it inspires and helps other people along and they can ask questions, as well. Maybe you don't understand why somebody took a certain trade and it may help you out. But growing $400, okay, and turning a small account into a larger size account, is it possible? Yes, it is. And I'm going to show you how you can definitely do it. Now, when I first started trading, the micros was not an option. It wasn't there. It was like you had to step in to the game full force, all right? Meaning trading the E-mini. So you can trade small tick size or tick value markets, maybe the Dow, the NASDAQ. But you have to understand those markets are very liquid and they have a lot of movement, okay? So if you get into a bad trade in some markets, they may be very unforgiving. Now, I started off trading the E-mini futures, the ES futures, okay? Or the E-mini S&P 500. All right, now there's a micro side to that. Now there's a micro side to the Dow. Now there's a micro side to the NASDAQ, the Russell, all the major indices, okay? So let me show you a simple technique or strategy that I do on the daily and how I trade, okay? That I've been kind of putting out on the channel and talking about and I'm not saying I'm an educator because I am not an educator. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a mentor. I'm here to share with you how I trade on the daily. All right. So first and foremost, first part of the recipe is doing what? Using the higher time frame. I know a lot of you guys are probably watching these videos. Those are part of the members of the community and already successful and probably saying, I know why Mike is doing this. He is going to beat this thing to death, okay? The reason why, because I want to see people succeed. It could be, 100 new people coming to the channel on a daily, or 1,000 or 10,000 people coming to the channel on the daily, and they're for the first time receiving this information. So I have to do my due diligence and really put in the time and work and effort to show people, all right? Just as I want people in the community to do, share the love, spread it, okay? Pass it forward. Whatever if you found success or found a means of being consistent in what I've been talking about and showing and expressing through the videos, share it with your friends and family members that would love to start trading, okay? Please do that. Share the videos, okay? A lot of you probably aren't doing that enough, but click on that share button and share it with your own social media platforms. Help the channel out, help out the community, help other people along. That's what it's about in life, okay? So, I know I'm rambling, guys. Please forgive me, but I get excited sometimes, and I just want to share what I know because I want to see people change their lives around, and this is a big way to do it. Taking $400, turn it into a larger size account. So let's say you want to take that $400 and turn it to $4,000, okay? Now, I've talked about this on videos too. 10 times rule, okay? If you're going to trade the micros, or any market in particular, I always talk about having the 10 or taking the 10 times rule or having a 10 times rule, using 10 times rule and applying it. What does that mean? Whatever the margin size is for that particular market, please do yourself a favor. Put away at least 10 times that amount before you start trading. Now, with the micro ES, okay, that's the ES futures, all right? We're talking about the margin for with most brokers is $40 a contract, okay? Just depending on your broker, some may be $50. Practice the 10 times rule, meaning save at least $400 to start trading one contract. Yes, I know the micros, the tick value, they don't pay out a lot, but guys, you're just starting out with little experience. Take the time and build an account. $400 is really not a lot. Some people may be a lot, but you can take $400 and slowly grow it. Day 1 into 500, day 2 into 600, day 3 into 900, and keep building up that way and use that as a stepping stone to grow your account. All right, without further ado, let me jump into the aspect or part of the video which I want to show you is a simple strategy you can use. All you're doing is taking a higher time frame and using a lower time frame. What are we using the higher time frame for? We're using it to mark off a higher time frame supply or demand zone. Yes, that is how I trade. That is the bread and butter, the cornerstone to how I trade 98% of the time, or 99%. Okay? So, simply what I do is I mark off a higher time frame supply or demand zone. So let me take a look here. I'm going to show you on my higher time frame chart. I'm going to stop right quick. I do not trade time-based, tick-based, or volume-based charts. I trade strictly range-based. Can you do this on a higher time frame? Excuse me. Can you do this on other chart style type charts? Yes. If you use time-based charts, you can do it. Maybe you want to use a 60-minute chart. Maybe you want to use a 4-hour chart. I don't know, whatever works best for you. Can you use tick charts? Yes. Can you use volume charts? Yes. But I'm going to show you on the range charts because range charts are cleaner to the eye to me. Maybe not to you, but I love the movement. I love the candles. I love what I see. I've trained my eyes over time to be able to pick up on things. Okay? All right. All right. So I'm using a 60 range chart on the ES futures. Okay? Now, I'm showing you on the ES, you could be, but what I want you to see is, excuse me guys, is that the micros move the same pretty much like the ES futures, okay? So the micros, the ES futures, same thing, okay? So I'm just showing you on the ES futures, but it's an example of the same type of setups you'll find on the MES, okay? So if you look at around this time period here, I think it's the 28th to the 29th. This may be I think the actual supply zone is here on the 27th, maybe. Okay, it looks like, yeah, 27th. And then when it pulled back to it, may be around the 30th. So that's what we're looking for. I just want to show you an example here. This is using a supply zone. Mark off a supply area on your higher time frame chart, okay? Regardless whatever your higher time frame is, all right? I'm going to focus on this, and then we're going to move down to a lower time frame. Using two charts, a higher time frame and then a lower time frame to execute the trade to get into it, all right? So the market's making higher highs and higher lows, okay? But please, before you get started, all right, and start developing or even using this strategy here, do yourself a favor and please learn market structure. It is extremely important. I promise you that if you do not understand market structure, you're not going to succeed and make it in this business, okay? So, just like anything else in life, you go to college, you become educated, you learn. You have to learn certain concepts or principles that pretty much allow you to develop a skill set, all right? All right, it's like going and taking higher level mathematic courses. You have to learn the core concepts to be able to build upon them to do higher level concepts, all right, or do higher level courses. Okay. So, anyways, what I'm trying to say is here, please understand and learn market structure. It is the ticket to this all. Okay. All right. It was that moment when I learned market structure. You know. It was like the aha moment. It clicked for me. Things opened up. The door opened up. The light at the end of the tunnel. I started to be able to see more clearly, guys. All right. So market structure. All right. So now we're taking a look here. We're moving to the upside. Okay. Making higher highs and higher lows. All right. So this is a supply zone. If you don't know what supply and demand is, please do yourself that favor too. Okay. But supply is aggressive selling coming out of an area. All right. So part of the strategy, number one thing I like to look for, okay, I must see a break of structure, okay? That is like number one important part of how I trade. So, a break of structure below. So, the market was moving higher. Then it must have hit some area of resistance to the left-hand side of the chart. It moves lower. What is this? Aggressive selling. Breaks below this area here at 46.06. We broke structure, right? Now, the moment price breaks structure, mark your supply zone, okay? All right? Mark that zone that aided in the break of structure to where there was a lot of aggressive selling coming out of that swing to the downside. This is a swing that aided in this break of structure here, all right? Loads of selling coming down. All right, go ahead and mark that zone just like I did right here. Wait patiently for price to come back to that zone, okay? Now, the second part of my strategy, what I like to see or what I must see, is there a void or a gap back at the zone? I'm going to mark that. A lot of people have a hard time for some reason understanding where the gap is at. All right, you see this last bullish candle right here to the upside? The bottom end of that wick there, I'm going to mark that, okay? All right, this red candle that took out this bullish candle right here, push to the downside, okay? It closed below that area there. All right, the next candle, basically, the next candle that after the candle that closed below this bullish candle here, all right, and closed. All right, look at the next candle that forms. Does it immediately come back and tap back to this supply area or back to the bottom end of this wick of this candle here? No, it doesn't. How far does it come back? It comes back right here. The wick of that red candle right there comes back to this area right here. I know I didn't draw the arrows correct or straight, but you guys get the picture, okay? So there's a void there. There's a gap resting right there, and the market keeps flushing to the downside. We get the pullback to the zone. Once we get the pullback to the zone, then that's when I'm interested. That's the area which I'm interested in. Now, you're going to see the same blue box here on the lower time frame, my 12 range chart. So we're going to move down now. So listen to what I'm saying. Break a structure first. Identify the supply area. Okay, supply selling. Mark your supply zone. Okay. Look to see, was there a gap at the supply zone? So in this case here, we're talking about a supply area. So the bottom end of the supply, the last bullish candle to the upside, okay? Candle that broke below and took out that bullish candle, all right? All right? And then the formation of that next candle. Did it immediately come back up here or did it keep pushing lower? It pulled back a little bit, okay, within this candle right here, but still at that gap from the bottom end of that bullish candle, the wick of it, to the top end right here. So we got a gap, we got a void there, okay? All right? If you don't know what I mean when I talk about those voids or gaps, please, I have videos on the channel. Go to the homepage. There's a little magnifying glass there. Search gaps, imbalances, and just gather that information. You've got to spend time watching the videos, okay? The market pulls back to the area here. Once it pulls back to the area of the zone, that's when I scale down because now we filled the void, filled the gap, back to the supply zone, and now I'm going to move that down to my lower time frame chart. All right, this blue box, I'm on my 12 range chart, is the higher time frame demand zone that I marked on the 60 range chart. Once the market taps into it, it's basically the same concept or the same thing we just looked for prior to a break of structure. So now we're in a lower time frame. I'm waiting for a break of structure below. Okay, an area. It taps into once it taps into that 60 range demand zone. Excuse me, I keep saying demand, guys. Supply. If I make a mistake, guys, you know what I'm talking about. Supply. It taps into it. It breaks lower. It breaks structure here. Okay. It pulls back up. This is a area, or this is a level. This is a zone right here. Okay. There's a supply zone right here that this swing here aided in this breaker structure below. So we're looking for a breaker structure on the lower time frame too. But you got to pay attention to price action. When the market pulled back and tapped into the supply zone here, I'm going to go ahead and mark this area. Okay. This is a supply zone right here. I'm going to make it a different color. I don't know. Let's just make it crimson. All right. So it pulls there. It taps into it. But as the market was moving higher, it started taking out these swings right here that aided in the breaker structure below. Okay. So this swing here. Okay. So it started right here. It pushed higher, breaking above this swing here that took out or aided in the breaker structure right here. Now, the market did that. It pulled back and it broke higher again, breaking above this swing here. Another swing that aided in the breaker structure below. So when price taps into that supply area right here, I gotta be mindful of this swing right here, because the market, it can reject this area right here because this swing right here took out the swings that aided in the breaker structure below on the 12 range chart. When the market tapped into my supply zone right here, look, if I got into the trade, it's only gonna come down to here, because I have support right below it. Okay, this area of support was the swing that aided in the breaks. Okay, took out these small swings that aided in the breaker structure here. Pay close attention to what's going on as the market is retracing back to the zone when it comes to price action, is what I'm saying. All right, market comes back, rejects, push higher, made a higher high, still tapping into the zone, pushes lower, or I should say pulls back. Okay, it breaks structure here. Okay, it does. But it's within this swing right here. So if I look for any opportunity to take a short, it's going to be back down to this area here. But look what happens. The market breaks structure right here, or breaks internal structure. All right, pushes through it. Turns back around. What does it do? Break structure again to the upside. Okay? So what I'm looking for is a clean breaker structure and a pullback to a supply area in which I can take a clean supply setup on the 12 range chart. All right, so we break higher. Okay? It pulls back, break structure again to the upside. So with a little swing here to the upside. All right, but then look what happens here. Look what happens. The push down below, the market pushes lower. We break structure right here. Okay, we're still in that 60 range supply area on the higher time frame chart. It breaks structure here on the lower 12 range chart, right here at 58. Okay, 46. Let's just say 46.59. Okay, there is a supply area right here. Okay, once the market broke structure right here below 59. Let's mark that. Okay, this supply area is to me would have been a no-go because of price action, paying attention to what took place on the retracement. Now, I see the breaker structure below this area here. I'm going to mark right here. This is a supply zone. All right. Again, we're on a lower time frame chart, so you have to be mindful of price action. The market pushes lower, break structure. It pulls back to this area right here. When the market broke structure below this area here, look what happened. All right, it took out this small swing here. It didn't take out this area here. These were swings that aided in the breaker structure to the upside here. Okay, now when it broke higher here and broke structure below here on the retracement back to the supply zone, were there any breaker structures that aided in, I should say this again, when the market was retracing back to this supply zone right here after the break below 59, were there any swings that aided in this breaker structure below 59 to the downside that were broken through as the market retraced back to the zone? No, not in this area right here. Only down here. Okay, so as the market was retracing back and tapped into the zone, look what happened. The moment it tapped into it, I get a strong bearish momentum candle. Most times I'm into the trade at 62, okay? I'm a very aggressive trader. But what you probably want to do is wait for the closure, the break below this bullish candle here, okay? With the close of a candle and then go short, okay? Now, if you got in here at say 60, it did pull back to you on 64. But you got to give it and understand the market has to have room to breathe. It's going to have its ebbs and flows before it makes its directional move, okay? So it breaks below, closes below this last bullish candle to the upside when it taps into the zone here. Close the candle below, most traders are going to get into a trade. It does pull back. Does it break below the back end of supply? No. Does it take out the back end of this bearish candle that tapped into the zone? No, it doesn't. It runs it almost tick to tick. But if you set up a hard stop, give yourself some room. Let's say it tapped into the zone and then you got into the trade to close. And this was the area here that tapped into the zone. It moved away with this bearish candle here. So you place your stop at 65. Don't do that. Give yourself a few more ticks breathing room there, because the market, the banks, the institution, the market makers are going to try to pull, at least test that area, tick to tick, to stop traders out, okay? All right? So the market retraces back and then it moves lower. Now, once you're into the trade, let's say you got in here at 60, right? You're asking yourself, well, where do I take the trade back to? Back down here to the lows. So if you got in here at 60, it pulled back to maybe 64.5. Yep, it pulled back on you about 4.5 points. But, we're trading 12 range chart. You got to understand that, where to place your stop at. If you trade with a hard stop, even if you trade with a mental stop, you need to know where your pain threshold is, okay? Meaning knowing where to get out at, okay? So, if it was me, this area right here that tapped into the zone, this candle, I'm gonna blow it up a little bit for you. This candle right here, I got into the trade, say for me, at 62, okay? I see this nice bearish candle pulling away once it immediately taps into the zone. I talked about this in videos. Once the market taps into a zone and it immediately quickly, say for instance, a bearish candle here, moves away from it, okay? Meaning where it doesn't break higher into the zone and it wicks and it starts to move lower, I'll get into the trade. Now, to be more on the conservative side, I talk about, you should probably want to be, and we'll look for the break of a candle, the close below the last bullish up candle, to kind of give you some clarity and more confirmation. Look for confirmation, especially if you're an inexperienced trader, guys. You have to, all right? It does pull back, but again, you got to allow it to breathe. Your goal, if you got in here at 60, is to take it back down here to the lows, down here at 51, and pick yourself up 9 strong points, 8 to 9. Let's say you even got out here at 54 right here, okay? Still, that's a good solid 60 to 53, let's say 54. That's a good solid 6 points on the ES, okay? So you could do that. Well, I should say the micro ES, all right? Not the ES futures. I'm just showing you on the ES chart, but the same movement, the same price activity, market activities, it happens over on the MES. So you could do these same type setups. This same example right here, if you took a look at it on the micro, you're going to see the same type setup. You're going to see the same thing, okay? The micro ES is just the micro version of the E-mini. That's all it is. It's a smaller version of it, okay? A smaller derivative, okay? So that's what I'm talking about, is look for setups like that. Just look for your higher time frame setup, the zone, demand and supply. This case here, it was supply. All right? Look for, again, let's just do the rundown one more time, guys. And I know I'm beating this thing to death, but I want to, give me a second. Okay, there we go. Okay, I want to see a break of structure on my higher time frame. If the market is trending to the upside, wait for the break of structure on the higher time frame. Mark the supply zone, okay? A zone that aided in the break of structure where there was aggressive selling coming out of it. Mark it. Then wait for the price or the market to come back to that area. But make sure you got that void or gap. There's a void or gap back, when price moved away from that swing right here that aided in the break of structure. Make sure there's a gap resting right there. That's part of my strategy. I've got to see that, I want to make sure there's a void sitting there, because this is an area where the banks and institutions probably left orders on the table and they need to come back and fill those orders. So when the market retraces back to that zone, then same thing. I just move down to my lower time frame chart. That's all I do. Looking for the same setup, okay? It's tapping to the zone here, okay? Once it taps into that higher time frame supply zone, then I'm looking for a break of structure on my 12 range chart, my lower time frame chart. All right, and then it pulled back to that supply area on the lower time frame. All right, but please pay close attention to price action as it is retracing back to your zones on the lower time frame to be able to understand and see how much room. Okay, once it retraces back to that zone, how much room do you have to trade? If you're trading demand, it's the same thing in reverse. And I'll probably maybe try to cover that in another video. But I've got tons and tons of videos talking about supply and demand, the strategy, and how I trade it on the channel. So please do yourself the biggest favor and today subscribe to the channel by clicking on the sub button down below. Do yourself that favor. Make sure to turn your post notifications on so you never miss one of the uploads here on the channel, and drop a like on the video. Okay, guys? Also, again, if you want to join the Discord, it is down in the description portion of the video. Click on the link, invite yourself in free. See everyone in the next one. Take care. I'm done for the day. I've already done some trading. I've already posted posted the images, or I should say images, screenshots of my trades that I took today over on the Discord community. That's what we do as traders, okay? Now, I'm not saying everyone has to do that, guys, okay? There's also a channel on there titled General Chat. If you're someone that's a newbie or a beginner trader, you have questions about the future markets, in general, regardless of what it is, if it's about platform, brokers, about anything in particular to the future markets, most of us trade the indices, then come over, click on the General Chat. I'll show you the Discord right now, guys, okay? Let me show you this, all right? Let me grab it, bring it over here, all right? Here it is right here. Few trades I took today. I took this one here, here, here. So you see people, we post our entries here on the Discord. That's on the trading floor channel. There's also another channel titled the General Chat channel to where you can come over and you can ask general questions, you know. If I don't answer you directly, trust me, there are tons of individuals or members who are part of the community that have answers just as well, okay? But that's all I have for you guys today. I'm going to wrap it up. I'll see everyone in the next video. And like I always say, please try to remain and stay green on the day. Take care. See you later.